news from the street. 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, the Maxi Taxi Association to announce decision on fares this week. The movement for social justice to march against fuel price rise. Petrotrin retirees plead with the Prime Minister to revive a pension plan, and internationally, Somalia's drought may cause over 300,000 children to die if action is not taken now. And now the news in detail. Head of the Route 2 Maxi Taxi Association, Linus Phillips, says by the end of this week, it will be decided on whether red band maxi taxi drivers will increase their fares or not. This following government's announcement on Friday that fuel prices will increase by $1 per litre from April 19th. Today, Phillips said he will meet with his executive to discuss the new fuel cost. But the association, he said, will decide on what is best for the industry. In other news, leader of the movement for social justice, David Abdullah, is calling on the nation to join his party in protests through the streets of Port of Spain to demand that the government rescind its decision to increase fuel prices. In a news conference by the gates of the now defunct Petrotrin refinery at Pointe-a-Pierre yesterday, Abdullah said Finance Minister Com Imbert believes the people of this country are sheep. Abdullah said the people of Trinidad and Tobago cannot sit down and do nothing. He added that citizens have a choice, but by doing nothing it means that you are accepting your condition of suffering and poverty and misery. Abdullah wants citizens to take a stand now and do something, and therefore the MSJ has decided to call a demonstration, a march through the streets of Port of Spain for Friday, 22nd of April. Abdullah calls on all trade unions, all activists, all citizens, and those involved in transport to join in on this massive march. Abdullah calls on the government to put more taxes on the wealthy companies and use that revenue to maintain the fuel subsidy. In more news, retired Petrotrin workers are calling on the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, as they claim the terms and conditions of their medical and pension plan is not being honored. Members of the Oil Workers Trade Union, led by President Ansel Roger, gathered in front of Whitehall, Queen's Park, Savannah on Friday for the second time after a letter was delivered to the office of the Prime Minister on March 25th. The letter said Roger depicted the pain and anguish of the retirees and said in the letter that the situation was urgent because the medical plan to which they benefited from was not something given to them, but something negotiated as a term and condition of their employment. Roger said when Petrotrin shut down in 2018, the retirees lost the medical plan that was supposed to be guaranteed to them for life. He said retirees who suffered illnesses as a result of their jobs suffered as they were unable to access medical proper care. Internationally, as Somalia faces what experts call its worst drought in a decade, children are bearing the brunt. Parents are struggling to feed their children, with nearly half of the country's under 5 population likely to suffer from acute malnutrition by June. According to the UN, almost 700,000 people have been forced from their homes in search of food and water for them and their animals, and the numbers keep rising. There have been 4 seasons of failed rains, and temperatures are unbearably high. 90% of the country is dry. Meanwhile, the International Committee for the Red Cross says at least a quarter of all Africans are facing a food security crisis, and whatever little food there is, its prices have surged. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines, the Maxi Taxi Association to announce a decision on fares this week. The movement for social justice to march against fuel prices. Petrotrin retirees plead with Prime Minister to revive pension plan, and internationally, Somalia's drought may cause over 300,000 children to die if action is not taken now. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas.